Hello everyone, welcome to Advanced Knowledge Systems and a warm welcome to AKS IAS Academy, which is one of the premier institutions in India, and it offers examination coaching for UPSC CSC, State Public Service Commission, SSC Combined Graduate Level and CLAT examination. And about me, I'm Sandeep Bhushan Tumala, and my credentials are I have 10 years of teaching experience for civil services. I take up international relations and internal security and the analysis of the Hindu newspaper. And this session is the DNA of the Hindu, that is today's of 15th February 2021. And in this session, I would be emphasizing on the keywords and the key phrases from the Hindu newspaper, wherein we will identify the factual, analytical, and conceptual questions which will be useful for UPSC prelims perspective. And while you imbibe the keywords and the key phrases in your answer writing, it will help you to score higher marks in the mains examinations, and thereby your answers would be precise and concise. Therefore, this session at AKS IAS Academy Daily News Analysis will certainly help you to crack both prelims as well as mains for the year 2021. And before we get into the DNA, we would focus at the quote of the day, and the quote of the day says that the secret of your future is hidden in your daily routine. So what is very important that while you are focusing on your short term and your long term goals is your daily routine. Your daily routine is the secret for your success, and your daily routine is the secret of your future, and it is the hidden one which is the secret for your success. And now we'll get into the DNA of the newspaper. And here we have the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who has handed over the Arjun Mk1A, that is the battle tank, which is the indigenous battle tank of India, and he has handed over the battle tank to the army, wherein there was a function at Jawaharlal Nehru Indoor Stadium in Chennai. And while he has handed over it, he has handed over to the Chief of the Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Narwane, and Chief of the Army Staff has handed or he has received the model of the tank, that is of the battle tank Arjun Mk1A, which is designed and developed by. So Mk1A Arjun battle tank is designed and developed by Chennai based Combat Vehicle Research and Development Establishment. CVRDE is the one which is into the design and development of the battle tank Arjun Mk1A, and CVRDE is a unit of DRDO. And according to CVRDE, the new one, that is Arjun Mk1A, is superior. It is superior in fire power, it is superior in high mobility, and also in excellent protection and crew comfort. So it is having 14 major upgrades from the earlier version of the battle tanks, that is Arjun Mk1. Now from Arjun Mk1, the one which is upgraded is Arjun Mk1A, and this battle tank has been handed over by the Prime Minister of India to the Chief of the Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Narwale. And the indent for the new battle tank or the upgraded Arjun Mk1 is been 118 tanks, and it is with the the order has been placed with the Heavy Vehicle Factory HVF at Avadi in Chennai. This is the prelims perspective point of view, because Arjun Mk1A, which the army has gone ahead with indenting of 118 of these tanks, will be made at a or manufactured at a heavy vehicle factory at Avadi near Chennai. And the issues with Arjun Mk1, the earlier one, in regards to the ammunition, spares and repairs have been resolved now, and the DRDA or DRDO has set up an Arjun hub in Jaisalmer for spares and support. So we have the Arjun hub which has been set up by DRDO at Jaisalmer. So you have two, that is the keywords which we need to focus in regards to the Arjun Mk1A, wherein 118 tanks which are shortly to be manufactured is at heavy vehicle factory at Awadhi, and in regards to the Arjun hub in which will be catering in regards to the ammunition, spares and repairs is now set up by the DRDO at Jaisalmer. And Mr. Modi has spoken while he was handing over the Arjun Mk1A battle tank to Chief Army Staff. He has focused that while there is the manufacturing happening in Tamil Nadu, and this will be used in the northern borders, that is Arjun Mk1A battle tank, and he has showcased India's united spirit, that is Ekta or Bharat's Ekta Darshan. It is India's united spirit that the manufacturing of the battle tank are taken up in Tamil Nadu, which is the south of India, and then they are used in the northern borders to protect or to keep the nation safe. And this is an example of India's united spirit, that is Bharat's Ekta Darshan. And Prime Minister has also said that our armed forces are the most modern forces in the world. That is, Indian armed forces are the most modern forces, and Prime Minister said that India will continue working for or to make the Indian armed forces one of the most modern forces in the world. And he has focused on making India, that is Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance, especially in the defense sectors. And he made it very clear that the Atmanirbhar Bharat or self-reliant in the defense sector will move at a full speed. And while he was addressing and then handing over the Arjun Mk1A battle tank to the army chief or to the Indian army, he has quoted the Tamil poet Subramanya Bharati, and he has made that India has gone ahead with making a massive efforts to become self-reliant, especially in the defense sector. The keywords here, what you need to focus is that our Prime Minister quoting Tamil poet, the one who is Subramanya Bharati, and the Atmanirbhar Bharat in the defense sector, India's united spirit, that is Bharat's Ekta Darshan. And this is all about it. That is, this image talks about, or the picture talks about Arjun Mk1A, and certainly this is an advanced or it is an upgraded one. And in regards to this, earlier we had 59% of Arjun Mk1A components were imported. Now it is 63%, and the speed is 40 kilometers per hour, which is on cross country, and the maximum speed is 58 kilometers per hour, and it has a combat weight of 68 tons, and rate of fire rounds per minute is 6 to 8 rounds per minute it can fire. And these are the specifications of the upgraded battle tank, that is Arjun Mk1A. And if you look at the another news, we have focused on the previous lessons or previous classes in regards to the elections which were conducted in the disputed region between Andhra Pradesh and Odisha. And in fact, Odisha government has filed a petition in the Supreme Court about the illegal elections or panchayat elections being conducted by Andhra Pradesh in the disputed region between Odisha and Andhra Pradesh. And in turn, now the Union Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has responded through the Twitter saying that whether it is Andhra Pradesh or any other states, when they are going ahead with conducting elections, which is a cause of concern, is definitely the interstate boundary dispute is creating a bad blood. This is the statement made by the Union Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, saying that this issue or the geographical boundary, creating an interstate boundary dispute is a interstate boundary disputing creating bad loan. And he made it very clear that there has to be a uniform effort of all the political parties, social organizations and individuals to strengthen the bond with the people who are living in the border villages. It could be between any two states in India. So here the key phrase is a unified effort of all the political parties, social organizations and individuals, so that they would be strengthening the bond with the people living in the border villages across India of various states. And this is the dispute which is going on between Odisha's Koraput district, and this is a matter of concern because the panchayat elections are being conducted inside another state's geographical boundary, is the statement made by the Union Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, and he says that the interstate boundary dispute is creating bad blood and unified efforts can be taken up to strengthen the bond between the people living in the border villages by all the political parties, social organizations and individuals also. And we have looked at this, what is a dispute, and this dispute is in regards to the territorial jurisdiction over 21 villages, and this 21 villages which has a dispute is called as Kotia group of villages. And this issue has reached the top court in 1968, and in 1968 Odisha has gone ahead with approaching the top court based on the three notification, that is notification issued on December 1st 1920, October 8 1923 and October 15 1927. And this petition which was filed by Odisha government claims that AP has trespassed into the well-defined territory of Odisha. And then later on there was a suit which was filed by Odisha on December 2nd 1968, and the court has dismissed the suit in the year 2006 based on the technical grounds, but the court has said that with the consent of both the states, that is Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, the status quo has to be maintained between both the countries until the dispute is resolved. But still, we have seen Andhra Pradesh has gone ahead with conducting the panchayat elections, and that has made the Union Petroleum Minister Dharmendra Pradhan to tweet that the interstate boundary dispute is creating bad blood. And there is an innovative idea which has been taken up in Assam, that is in the Golpara district, and the Golpara district administration has been taking up an innovative idea, that is distributing combs. And it says that the way to the prospective voters head, the way to the prospective voters head is through the air, and you can have the link between the head and the air, and thereby the Golpara district administration started an innovative idea, that is by distributing combs and various other utilitarian items which are part of the daily use, such as sanitary pads. So combs and sanitary pads are part of the daily use which have been distributed by the Golpara district administration with a SVEEP message which is printed on the combs and the sanitary pads. And now we will look at why is this innovative idea taken up by the Golpara district administration to send a message or to print a SVEEP message. And the district administration of Golpara has said that they have chosen the simple essential, that is a comb, so that people in that particular district are reminded of their civic responsibility on a daily basis. So we will look at what is the civil responsibility that the people of the Golpara district has to be taken into consideration, which it says that the way to a prospective voter's head is through the hair. And SVEEP stands for Systematic Voters Education and Electoral Participation, and this is crucial for prelims perspective from polity, because It is part of the Election Commission of India, and SVEEP is a flagship program of the Election Commission of India for promoting voters literacy in the country. So SVEEP, it promotes voters literacy in the country for a systematic voters education and electoral participation, and it is a flagship program of Election Commission of India. And the district election office has gone ahead with ramping up the SVEEP activities because the polling stations in the district, in the particular Golpara district, they have recorded a overall low and low female voter turnout in the year 2016 and 2019, both in assembly and Lok Sabha elections. Thereby, the district administration has come up with the innovative idea of saying that the way to a prospective voters head through the air, and they have distributed combs and sanitary pads with SVEEP messages printed on them so that it would promote the voters literacy, which is SVEEP is a flagship program of the Election Commission of India. So this information can be taken from UPSC prelims as well as mains examination, that is in regards to the promoting voter literacy in the country, which is a flagship program of Election Commission of India, is SVEEP, and also for prelims perspective. And again, in regards to the history, art and culture, there is a news which we would be focusing, that the researchers have discovered the fossils of the earliest known living animal. Please do understand. And this fossils is the known animal which, or the earliest known living animal which the researchers have discovered is way back of 550 million years old. It is called as Dickinsonia, and they have discovered the fossils of Dickinsonia, which is 550 million years old, on the roof of Bhimbetka rock shelters, which is 40 kilometers away from Bhopal. And the researchers have identified the fossil, which is from the white leaf like patches, which wherein this white leaf like, please do understand, it is, we are saying that it is a leaf like patches, but it is the earliest known living animal way back 550 million years old on the Bhimbetka roof of the Bhimbetka rock shelters. And this is a white leaf like patches with a central vertebra and a connecting veins. So we will also look at how does it look like, and it is of 17 inches, and there are other fossils which have been identified which are much smaller than the fossil of 17 inches, that is white leaf like patches with a central vertebra and connecting veins. And this new discovery has been published in the journal called as Gondwana Research, and they have also come up with an auditorium cave, that is, which is found at Bhimbetka, and Bhimbetka is a UNESCO heritage site. This is a keyword. Bhimbetka is the UNESCO heritage site, which the auditorium cave is located 3.5 meters above the ground. So this information is again useful or crucial for the prelims perspective in regards to the history, art and culture. That is in regards to the auditorium cave, which is, the cave is located at Bhimbetka, which is, the cave is 3.5 meters above the ground, and Bhimbetka is a UNESCO heritage site. And the Geological Survey of India Bhopal in charge, Tapan Pal, has said that the fossils which have been discovered in regards to the 550 million years old Dickinsonia, which is probably the earliest known living animal, is similar to the one fossils which have been found in the South Australia. This is a crucial information which analytically we need to focus how the Geological Survey of India is linking the discovery of the Dickinsonia, the earliest living animal, with the fossil which is also similar to the South Australia, because the article says that this is a proof of similar paleo environments, and this paleo environments, it confirms that there was an assembly of Gondwana land. There was an assembly of Gondwana land by 550 MA, that is mega annum. This is a time period. So this information is definitely from history, art and culture, and also from the geography based. History, art and culture and geography, you need to focus this information which is crucial for prelims as well as mains examination. And if you look at this, the Gondwana, this is Pangaea, 225 million years ago, Gondwana 150 million years ago, and then 100 million years ago we have seen this, and now today we have this map. That is why the researchers are saying that the fossils are similar to this one which have been found in the South Australia, is because of this. And then they are saying that there is definitely that there is a possibility of assembly of Gondwana land, assembly. So this is India, this is Australia. So probably the animals were living closely or close proximity of the area, geographical area, during the Gondwana period, that is 150 million years ago. And this is the one, the living animal, and you can see this. You have the central one and the vertebra. That is why it says that it is a white leaf-like structure, but it is a known earliest living animal. And you have another news which talks about the UAE's HOPE probe, and this HOPE mission which was sent to the Mars, and as per the National Space Agency of UAE, which is the HOPE probe, they say that the HOPE probe has sent back the first image of Mars, and it has been successfully entered into the red planet's orbit, that is Mars. It has entered into the red planet orbit, and the picture which has been captured and then sent back, and which the National Space Agency of UAE says that the HOPE probe has captured the largest volcano in the solar system. This is crucial information. It has captured the largest volcano in the solar system, that is Olympus Mons, which is the largest volcano, which it has been captured by HOPE probe, and it has Olympus Mons emerging into the early morning sunlight. It has been captured by the HOPE probe, and this image was taken by the probe HOPE at an altitude of 24,700 kilometers above the Martian surface, that is Mars, and it was taken just a day before, when it was, or it has, HOPE probe has entered into the Mars orbit. It has entered into the Mars orbit on February 10th, 2021. And the mission of it is to design the reveal of the secrets of the Mars, or the weather of the Mars, and also the mission is to inspire the UAE youth. And HOPE has become the first 3 spacecraft to arrive the Mars planet this month, that is in the month of February 2021. And the other 2 countries which have already entered, or these countries have gone ahead with taking the mission of entering the spacecraft into the Mars, is China and US, which has also launched the missions July, because July month, it was the period when Earth and Mars have come together, or it was the nearest, both the planets coming together was in the month of July 2020. So therefore they have taken the advantage of launching the spacecraft, the missions, in month of July, wherein the Earth and Mars were very nearest. And the UAE's venture, that is a mission of successfully launching the spacecraft Hope probe, has been timed, or it has been marked with the 50th anniversary of the unification of nations 7 Emirates. And Hope will orbit the red planet at least one Martian year. That is, 1 year on the Mars is 687 days, as on comparing it with the Earth. So 687 days it will be orbiting, the Hope probe will orbit the Earth, it will orbit the Mars. And this is the information which we need to focus from science and technology. So this is the picture, Olympus Mons, which has been captured by the Hope probe. So now we would look at the picture or image which it talks about that Olympus Mons is 3 times the height of the Mount Everest. The height, it is 3 times the height of Mount Everest and 2 times the height of the Mauna Kea, which is in Hawaiian Islands. And its base is 550 kilometers. And this is the comparison which it says that, or the picture which was captured, is the largest volcano in the solar system. And this is again from geography based. You need to understand how it can be a useful information for prelims perspective. And our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has launched 5 projects in Kochi, and he has mentioned that by launching of the 5 projects, it will strengthen the growth trajectory of the country. And now we will focus at what are the 5 projects which have been launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which would spur the growth of, or the growth trajectory of the country. He has dedicated to the nation the project, that is the propylene derivative petrochemical project, which is a unit of Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited. And he has also launched the roll-on, that is roll-off vessels to be operated between Bolgatti and Wellington Island. And he has also launched the Sagarika International Cruise Terminal, and he has laid the foundation stone for the reconstruction of South Coal berth at Chennai or Cochin Port, and he has also opened the Marine Engineering Training Institute. So these are the 5 projects which have been launched by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Kochi, so that this project would strengthen and spur the growth trajectory of the country. And while he has suggested the startups to consider the developing projects, especially in the tourism sector. And he has urged the startup sectors to think more about the innovative tourism related products, because he has focused that in the World Tourism Index, India is ranking now 34th, while 5 years ago it was 65th position. So from 65th World Tourism Index ranking, India is now at 34th position, and thereby he is urging the startup sectors to think about innovative tourism related products. And these projects which have been launched would be for the developing of the tourism sector. And the Prime Minister has also assured the Indian diaspora while he was addressing the launching of the 5 projects in Kochi. He has also assured the Indian diaspora in Gulf countries, and he has also assured that Indian government is committed to the welfare of the diaspora in the Gulf countries. And he has said that during the COVID-19 pandemic situation, around 50 lakh people have been brought back to India under the Vande Bharat program, and most of them among the 50 lakh people are from Kerala. And I hope this session was informative, knowledgeable, and also useful from mains as well as prelims perspective of UPSC. So I would say a very big thank you to all. Good luck to you all. And then do maintain consistency, stick to your schedule, and take care of your physical health and mental health. And do not forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe the AKS IAS Academy English Medium YouTube channel. And also have access to the website and to the Telegram link of AKS IAS Academy, that is Advanced Knowledge System. And then see you again with DNA, that is Daily News Analysis, tomorrow. And then till then, thank you, goodbye, and then take care.